Season of Strife 5, you can see we are gathering. It will be our first big fight, and until the fun and fight will happen, I will tell you guys about the alliances and the allies and enemies on my KVK, right? Of course, I'm in Pirates. We are allied with ACE, right? We are fighting with ACE, and our enemies are Nova Avengers and Ashes to the Glory, right? You can see the difference between the power of the alliances. We are 11 billion power, Ace is 24, but our enemies are 23 and 20, right? We are trying to gather right now. Both of the sides got these spires, right? Yeah, this is the Avengers side, and this is the Ashes of the Glory side, right? We need to mention that our enemies have already used the building buff, which is really important, but us and Ace have not still used the building buff, which is really important, because you are basically rushing in with the buildings, and it's really good at the start of the KVK in order for you to get closer to the fight, right? Expectations are that we are going to fight as much as humanly possible. We will try to be as active as possible. Last KVK, I managed to get 12 million merits, but you can see the players and the alliances here, how hard it will be for me to actually get the 12 million merits, because I'm still tier 4 player. That's the reality. I'm gonna show you the amount of troops I have. Yes, I'm still tier 4. I need like 1 or 2 KVKs more in order for me to get the first tier 5 troop. But yeah, let's focus on here right now. As you can see, Ace and the Pirates are moving. Hopefully this will be a good merits fight, but it will be super hard. I'm not really expecting that I'm going to get like 45k merits, even with my Magrot and Zaida, but whatever it will be, at least 20k merits, because we are going to fight against maxed out enemies, right? Almost every single player from our enemies are maxed out heroes, tier 5 players, 3-star war pets, so it will be super hard for me to get the amount of merits which I want to get in every single fight, right? But whatever we're gonna get, it will be good, because it's a new experience. I have never played Call of Dragons in this kind of KVK where there is a huge amount of players and all of those players are actually maxed out, right? This is a pretty cool moment. We got closer. I was kind of expecting from our enemies to intercept our builders here, but it is what it is. We made our first step, and let's see, hopefully our enemies will make their step and the whole fun will start. Of course, we should never forget regarding class. I should always click on cast on the stewardship, because the amount of kills we are going to get will be really good, right? Hopefully this fight will start soon, because like this video is not about me talking. I might try my best to explain all the important stuffs about my KVK. And yeah, as you can see, I'm gonna click on stewardship, that's one. And don't forget, we also have potions in this game. We are also going to use potion, right? Let's go. This is the first fight of Season of Strife 5. The Ace and the Steel Heel Pirates are fighting against Ash and NA, right? Of course, we are going to have a lot of lags because of the amount of players we are seeing here, but everybody which I'm trying to click is actually already dead, but yeah, it is what it is. At least we have some targets, and that's good enough, right? March attack will be turned on, so basically whoever will be on the direction of us will be getting damaged, right? It should be super hard for me to get targeted in this kind of fight, because as you can see, like every time I click on somebody, they are already gone, right? So it won't gonna be easy. Let's move up a little bit. Maybe we're gonna deal damage to infantry. Yeah, I guess this is the easy way. Whenever you have a lot of infantry players and they are basically all maxed out, these kind of fights will happen, right? Of course, I'm gonna go back. I saw this infantry player running in. Yeah, like not a single problem. We are not going to get targeted right now, but as always, I'm trying to be a little bit more greedy, and I'm trying to target anybody, basically, right? Like, whenever I see that we are attacking, I feel good. So yeah, this kind of fights actually is normality for this kind of carry case, which is really interesting. We are used to having small lags in our live streams or even in our videos, but yeah, this is a totally different gameplay. You can see I basically can't even touch the legions and they are dying super fast, right? Yeah. Well, the main idea for me, the newest hero pair which I have currently is Musiang with Thea. We all know how amazing Musiang and Thea are with Celestials, and I truly believe that Celestials are not the only ones which will benefit with Musiang and Thea hero pair. Right now we are using Musiang with Thea with Wyverns, and simply because as an archer player, of course, I want to utilize every single archer troop which I have, right? And also I truly believe that the Wyverns are not that bad, right? They are not that bad. Of course, people look at the physical attack and the difference that Wyverns are actually, yeah, it's impossible to zoom in. They always look at the physical attack and they feel like, because archers are having higher amount of physical attack than Wyverns, they feel like they are bad, right? But I think that's not true. Like, every single time you are playing Call of Dragons, the only problem you actually have, if you play good, is the amount of troops you have, right? Because you want to send your troops in rallies, in garrisons, you want to use your troops with the fights, right? And the hospital never is enough, right? The resources are never enough. So basically, it's not that easy to fight for a long hours, because in this type of carry case, fights almost never stop in like 1 day or couple of hours, right? Basically, it sometimes happens, but not always, right? So you like, most important currency, what you can actually get in Call of Dragons if you are a fighter is your troops, right? So if Celestials are that important, because alright, Celestials have higher attack than the Vestals, but Vestals are still fine, right? Like, people only think that even with Magrat and Zaida mage gameplay, that Celestials are only way, right? No, I have played with Magrat and Zaida with Vestals, and they are totally fine. They are basically fine. Like, the difference between them is like couple of K merits, which are not that important, right? So, like, I spoke too much about the Wyverns and the Celestials because of the situation in the battlefield. It kind of feels really easy, maybe because we are much more in terms of numbers, but yeah, like, you can see how hard it will be for me to actually get merits in these fights because of the lag, because of me being tier 4 player, and if I will get caught even at least once, I can guarantee you that I will die. So this is the hardest part, right? It's really hard for me to control my troops. It's even hard for me to actually click on somebody in order for me to move up, right? Yeah, I guess I have small problems in terms of my laptop. I think it was fine. I can record videos, but I think streaming these kind of fights will be super hard. And yeah, our enemies are running, we are trying to catch up. I can guarantee you that I did not make a lot of merits in these fights because it was super hard for me to at least click on somebody, and that's not good, right? Alright, let's move up. Yeah. I guess right now, like, couple of legions are fine, everybody's trying to move up and they are not even clicking in this couple of legions. This is our chance, I guess. This is the season without long-range warfare, and season without long-range warfare means that we are having the medium range, which is the lower than mages. So it's quite interesting. I have played a lot of times with and without long-range warfare. I was always getting quite a good amount of merits all the time, so depends what's your positioning, depends how well you actually fight. That's the most important, right? Range, I understand having highest range feels more safe. You deal more damage to your perfect target, which is always the mage players, but well, with the medium range, you have the highest amount of physical attack, and you, like, if mage player will make a mistake, you can actually punish quite well, right? So I think This will be a pretty cool demonstration how well we are going to perform without long-range warfare, and let's see, right? Let's see the amount of merits we're gonna get. Of course, I'm not really expecting 20 million merits because of the power of our enemies, but I will try my best. Of course, I will have to use my resources for healing, which I always don't want to do it, but I guess this is the season when we should actually do it, and like depends on KVK if I will have chances and possibilities to actually do it. For sure it will happen, right? Yeah, you can see like if we're gonna have low amount of merits, it's not because we made a mistake, but the only reason we will have low amount of merits, it was the hardest for me to actually click on somebody because they were dying super fast. So yeah, that's the reality. So I think if we're gonna get 10k, that should be good achievement, right? Because yeah, I don't know, like most of the time when we were fighting was like me trying to click on somebody and that somebody was already disappeared, which means I don't know, 20 players already clicked on him. So yeah, that's the way, right? At least here we can deal some damage. uh Finally, right? I'm pretty sure my alliance and my warband was told to go back, but since we are recording a video and since we want to have a little bit good amount of merits from these fights, we can stay because we have not participated in the like staff gameplay because I don't play with cavalry troops. I don't have good cavalry heroes, but it is what it is. At least we finally managed to use our archers, which are fine, and I really hope all these players will stay, because it will be cool if I will deal more damage, right? Of course, in this KVK, we are going to have a lot of live streams, hopefully with no lags, but I think every single streamer will have lag in this kind of environments, right? When a lot of players are running around. It's hard to render for some PCs, but yeah, I will try my best to have a lot of streams. I will try my best to show as much Call of Dragons gameplay as humanly possible, because I always mention that the best product which Call of Dragons can sell to anybody is PvP gameplay, right? That's the artifacts, that's the movement, that's the troop types, that's the heroes, and so on, right? So yeah, I think like streaming other things might be fun, but I always do videos with other things, and whenever I like there is a PvP gameplay, I try to stream the PvP gameplay, right? I think right now I'm gonna make a mistake soon because I'm the only archer here, but yeah, finally I can see more players. I can see more players and maybe we can deal more damage. Yeah, cavalries are running around, they are pretty fast. Maybe here. Yep, finally we can deal damage to cavs. Right, we got targeted, which is not good, but I think this target is by this infantry, which should not really touch me, and yeah, let's see, let's just target this cavalry. At least it's kind of better than targeting infantry, right? Because these infantry players is no joke. They are maxed out warpits, maxed out heroes, so they basically deal as much damage as I'm dealing with the tier 4 troops, right? So yeah, we have to deal damage to this infantry, which is fine. At least we are fighting, at least we are dealing damage. I'm interested what will be the number of merits we will get, because I can actually feel how low amount of damage I'm dealing to these players, which is not fair. Yeah, I should be tier 5 already. I should be tier 5 already, but it's not that easy right now. So let's run. Let's move back. Yeah. As I said, like, one mistake was easily made in this fight because I wanted to have a better amount of merits than I have right now. Right, I guess somebody used the... Yeah. We are getting targeted. Yeah, my alliance member actually tried to save me. But let's see, I guess, yeah, we have to turn around. Yeah, let's turn around. Let's just deal damage because it will be impossible for me to run away from here. But yeah, I think at least we can save some troops. Yeah, I'm surprised Kinara is alive, by the way. Yep, this was pretty expected that they would do it to us, but yeah, I guess the main fight was won and I just got greedy. I wanted to make more merits from this fight, which I don't know how much we're gonna get, but it is what it is. Let's see. Whenever Musiang will go home, I will check the merits and let's see how much it will be, right? Yeah, as expected, there is no like 45k and like 35k merits. This is like 21, 70, and 40. Of course, fight was not good. This is not the fight which I'm getting a lot of merits, but this was about the first fight of Season of Stripe with ACE and with a pretty cool amount of players which we are having in this KVK, right? And hopefully the activity will be big. Hopefully we are going to get even more fights, and let's see how important and how easy this fight, this KVK will be for us. Most important for me, in order for me to get fun out of Call of Dragons gameplay, is of course PvP, right? And hopefully more fights, and not just like that. I want like kinda equal fights in order for me to actually deal damage, right? So yeah, this was the first fight of this KVK, of course with some mistakes, but mistakes happen. I wanted to show the struggle of fighting in this kind of big KVKs, and hopefully you guys will be more prepared, right? And yeah, we are gathering again. We will try a couple of runs and let's see how well we're gonna perform. So far, thanks for watching. If you like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.